Hi everybody. Okay. Hi everybody and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos, and we're being very childish here with our little toys that we love to do, our knitted
early
toys.
In the morning still.
It's still early in the morning, yes, and we have a little tutorial for you that is about this cute little fellow. We named him Moon Knight because we actually had one knitted up in the Regia sock yarn that we designed in the Moon Knight color, so we chose to name him that.
But that one I can't find right now.
We can't find him.
I've been looking all over for him, but I don't know where he is.
Yeah, who knows?
On the pasture somewhere.
Yeah, he's out, riding around in the pastures. But we have these two fellows here. One of them is completely finished. The other one is unfinished, under construction. We have a pattern for this fantastic creature on our website at arnecarlos.com. Just select shop and you can shop for this pattern. And it is actually a fun thing to do because this horse is knitted on the round completely and it's almost seamless. Yeah. There's only, how many places do you need to sew? Under the arms or under the legs, sorry?
and in the back.
Yeah, in the back and on the...
And you have to sew on the ears. So.
And then you sew on the ears. So it's a super easy design. You knit it on the round. You can do it on a circular, a large circular needle or a long one from Magic Loop. You can do it on two circulars or as we do on double points.
Yes.
And Arne, I have been getting some emails from some people who got the pattern, and there was something in the pattern that they were very confused about, and we thought that we would clarify that for them.
Yeah, because I haven't knitted from the English pattern before, because this was knitted from the Norwegian pattern, and this was translated in America
by Carol.
So we thought we never heard it something wrong. So there's
nothing wrong.
No, so I was knitting through it. So I'm up to where the problem is.
Is that a pig?
No, this is a horse.
Okay.
So I will show you what it means, because there were some people who ended up with a lot of stitches because they picked up stitches on the side on this one, and they also knitted these 8 stitches.
Okay.
And the stitches on the leg.
Oh, okay.
That means you have like a lot of stitches, but you don't have a body.
No.
So to make the horse, the feet has to meet.
Yeah, so...
in one way or the other.
Okay, cool. So now let's go back a little bit here and let me just ask you a couple of questions. So these are what you're going to knit now, or what you're going to show. You've knitted 2 back legs? Are they the back legs?
These are the 2 back legs, and now I'm making the gap between the back legs.
Okay, so you're going to connect them. You're going to go from 8 needles to 4 needles with both legs. Is that what you're going to be doing?
Actually, they end up on 4 needles when I'm finishing this.
So literally, you're going to put the back legs together. You're going to connect them, and then you're going to start knitting the body.
After you have
connected. Okay, good.
But the problem was the connection of, like, the people have to understand the legs have to meet somewhere.
Yeah.
And since you're making this little flap for the gap between the legs, you also pick up stitches on the side. And we had some questions about how to pick up the stitches. So
you're going to show.
So I will show you how you kind of.
And I would say, by just looking at the project, I would say that the way you're going to pick up the stitches is pretty much the same as you would do if you were knitting a sock with a heel flap, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like the same concept.
So we have to make this flap. So I think it was 4 from this needle.
You have to read the pattern.
I should. So I can put this over on this one. You see, when I read pattern like our own patterns, sometimes I just do what I feel for.
Maybe some people are going to be shocked now that you can't even remember what the pattern says. But how many patterns have we written in our lifetime?
A lot of patterns.
Quite a lot, yeah. I mean, we've done 10 books after all, so it's not like we have everything in our memory.
I think this is the 4th or 5th horse that we knit on. So I'm gonna.
Well, that you knit on. I mean,
I'm
not doing the horse, not this one anyway.
So I just knit 4 and then 4 from the other needle. So I just leave this because now I'm creating the flap between the legs. So then you slip and you knit back.
And then there's always that question, the slipping. So you're always slipping a stitch, right? When you're doing the flap, the first stitch, you don't knit it, you slip it.
I slip it.
And so the question usually is, do you do it purl-wise or knit-wise?
That's like, if you're on the knit side, you
always do it knit-wise.
You slip it knit-wise.
And if you're on the
purl side, you slip it purl-wise. Yeah. But I think in Norway it's just...
You just slip it.
Slip.
You don't specify if you're slipping it knit-wise or purl-wise. The pattern expects the knitter to know that.
Because sometimes also, like if you have 8 stitches like this, and if it said like in some patterns, like older patterns, it says you purl 8 stitches, that means you slip the first one. And
maybe
so it goes without saying sometimes.
And maybe some of our viewers would like to know if there's a particular reason why you prefer slipping the first stitch.
Because then you get a nice edge
on both sides.
On both sides.
And that makes it easier to pick up the stitches.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a practical point of view. You don't have to in that sense. Then you could
knit it, but then
the edging will be a little bit.
You see now when I slip the stitches, you get nice stitches on the side. And then of course, like if you're not careful where the yarn is, if you bring the yarn like over the stitch when you slip, you block the stitch.
So you have to be a little bit aware when you are slipping those stitches that you're doing it in a way that you're leaving a very neat edge from where to pick up afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put this over there. So now you have these 2 flaps.
Yes.
And then these 2 flaps are actually meeting. In the English pattern it says...
Yeah, I'll read what it says. So it says...
aligning?
Yeah.
I think the word is.
Pretty much. So it says the following. Cut yarn and arrange stitches of both legs on DPN.
Yeah.
Aligning the 8 stitches worked back and forth on each leg.
So that's this one.
So what...
I'd stitch them together, or if you don't look at that horse, because I did some really bad stitching there, but I didn't spend time doing a nice Kitchener.
So now you're taking your stitches.
I can take them off.
You're taking them off the needle, okay.
But in the English pattern it says aligning, and I think I had to Google that word, and it means that 2 things meet on a straight line.
Aligning is this, pretty much this. So you've got one back leg here, you've got one back leg here, and you're going to align it. And I think that the big problem that people have been having in this pattern is that then it says begin between the legs with 2 knit stitches over the stitches, and then it says knit 32. But then people are like, oh, but I don't have 32, I have 16 more than that, so I have 48. But remember, you're aligning the 8 stitches from one and the 8 stitches from the other. So actually you do have 32 because you're not going to knit the stitches that you align. Yes. And that, I think, is the confusion for a lot of people.
Probably.
They're seeing too many stitches that they have, and they're not understanding that 16 of those stitches are not going to be knitted at all. You're just leaving them there because they're going to be sewn in the end. And it kind of makes sense because if you knit all the stitches, you're going to have a tube.
Yeah, you don't get them
with 2 legs on
the body.
Yeah.
So now I put those on hold on this yarn, and then...
And you've done it on the other one as well?
Yeah, and then I just pick up stitches from this side, like this. So these will be knitted, but I like to twist them when I knit them. So
why?
Because then there won't be like a hole.
Yeah.
So I put it back like this and twist.
That's a very good tip. Because when you're twisting and lifting, you're kind of stabilizing your project, bringing it more tightly knit, which is good for something like this. And I suppose it's the reason why you're using the metal needles as well, to keep it tighter, the gauge.
I think, especially for like horses and knitted dolls, I like to use the metal needle because I like to go down on the needle.
Yeah, and make sure
no
that
matter which yarn I use, I go down on the needle. Because you want to have the knit as tight as possible,
so that the stuffing doesn't start.
Because that is.
Okay, we've got a moose in the house, or around the house. Yeah, Freya. What are you doing?
So you pick up stitches on this, 2 stitches on this side again, and you see now it looks like that. So I go in the back and knit, so I twist it like this. And now these stitches are on hold.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to connect the 2 legs.
And that's where you align.
So these will meet.
So kind of back to back or side to side. Maybe better say side to side.
Inside to
because those are the inner side. So inside to inside, and then the opposite sides will face outwards.
So I pick up these 2.
Oh, Freya.
I probably don't do it exactly as it's written, because in the pattern it says which needle you should use. I just use any needle right now.
Yeah, but you're doing this to show.
Yeah. So I don't care which needle I use, but you end up with the same result anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then I take this and I tighten that up so they go together. This I have to turn like that. And then I knit over.
Looking perfect. And now you're doing those 32 stitches, right?
Yeah. I think it should be 32 now when this is done.
32. You have 48 in total, according to the pattern, and you're going to be knitting those 32, and you've got the 8 stitches on each leg facing each other inwards.
Yeah. So you have to, those 8, all the 16 stitches are not part of the knit anymore.
Yeah, and that is one of the few seams on the horse, because once you're done with the project, you're just going to sew that. Sew those 8 stitches, maybe a Kitchener or something, and close that.
And then you pick up 2 stitches on this side, and you knit and knit like that. So that was the first round. Then you make another round, and then you will see how the stitches align.
And the second round, the new round that you're talking about now, is just a knit round, without anything other than knitting.
Just a knit round, just to connect all the both of the feet. So, like this. So you see, you have to connect the feet to get the body.
Yeah. And then, to me, it looks like the continuation is just a short row.
Yeah.
So
you do like a short row to get that curve over the back of the horse.
Yeah, the curve that you can see there.
So
it's pretty much.
This is how we make the back leg of the horse.
Yeah, and you could say, Arne, that the principle of knitting this particular toy on the round, that even if it's not exactly the same, you can still apply a lot of what you know if you do sock knitting, pretty much. You've got...
you have the short
because you've got for the back legs, you've got a flap where you pick up stitches, right? And then you've got a short row to create the back, the bum, and the start of the back of the horse.
Yeah, it's a little bit of sock knitting.
And I suppose here you've also got some sock knitting going on.
That I don't remember right now, because I've been focusing on the back leg.
Sorry.
I haven't done this for a long time, but it works. Look. So now, sooner or later, you have to sew these stitches together, because you have to fill the horse with stuffing. So this is how.
Yeah.
This is what it means when stitches aligned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And apply a little bit of your knowledge in sock knitting if you have knitted socks, and then you will be able to do these. They're fun to knit, and we love it that with knitting on the round you can practically make things almost seamless.
And also have to say there's like another thing, like if you read the pattern and you try to imagine what you're actually going to do, it can be hard to understand what you're actually doing, because it's easier when you have it on the needle. Yeah. So don't overthink.
Yeah, that can be a problem, and we do get a lot of people that are like that. I mean, even when we've taught classes, you give them a pattern, and they ask you questions about something in the end of the pattern, and they haven't even cast on, and you're like, but don't worry about that until you get there, because there is a lot of things before that, and once you get there, it will make sense. Yeah. So that's that is a really good tip. You read through the pattern once, but you don't overthink it, and then you focus on what you're doing there and then you bring up the questions as you go along.
Or you don't read at all, just start.
Just start. Just jump into it and
Jump
just
into
do it.
And it's not dangerous to unravel if you do a mistake.
Yeah. So Arne, I think that we're going to go up and look for Moon Knight, the real Moon Knight. I wonder where he is.
Yeah, and we have to find a yarn for this one because you need ears.
And then we've got the pink horse, which maybe could be a unicorn? A pink unicorn?
Yeah, you can make.
We'll make a little for that. It'll be nice. Yeah.
Yes. So that I think that's it.
Yes, very simple. Remember to think about the principle of sock knitting when you do the round toys. It helps a lot, you know, when you're thinking of, you know, heels and short rows and heel flaps and all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. And
remember to put on your notifications because then you get a message every time there's a new video out, and that can happen anytime.
Yes,
but right now we do Wednesdays and
Sundays right now. Sit in it for a bit on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central European time, which is 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time or Standard Time. Yeah, we're, you know, I mean, daylight time or sorry, winter time or summertime, it's always at 6 p.m. regardless. And yeah, if you want to support us, the best way to support us is to become a subscriber of our YouTube channel. YouTube will then help us more and more and more. And the more we get help from YouTube, the better it is for you guys, because that means we get to continue posting all these videos week after week. Year after year, okay?
As long as we have ideas.
As long as we have ideas, yes. So let's go look for Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And let's go finish up I want to do a mane and I want to do some ears for this one. I'm a little bit, I don't know, color suggestions, what I will do.
You have to look through the stash.
Yeah, and maybe ask people for some advice. So this one has a red mane. Should I put a blue mane or a orange mane on this one or a pink one? Tell us what you'd think look best. In the comments fields below, and see you again very, very soon. Bye.
Bye. We have to put wire in there.
Yeah.
Join us every day in December when Sit and Knit for a Bit becomes our daily Christmas podcast.
We're looking forward to revealing one ball every single day, and if you want to join us, there is going to be a digital Arne Carlos Christmas calendar with our 24 new balls. All you need to do is go to arnecarlos.com, go to our shop, and you can purchase the calendar, and it will be available from November 22nd and onward. That's when it's going to open, the sales. You will be able to knit some of the balls in advance if you feel a time constraint. We're really looking forward, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Are we going to make more balls?
Well, you can't have enough balls, can you?
Well, can you? No, not really.